Welcome to part 2 of the Trust Cal. Here we will start working our decreases to continue actually making the shawl. So we've got our centerpiece. So once you've completed your center panel, you got a little option. You can continue using your mini if it was a 20-gram mini, or you could switch to your main color of yarn. Such a beautiful color. So that's choice is up to you. I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this green color until I've used 5 grams for this side, and then cut it off and then continue working in the main color of yarn, and that way I ensure that I'm using up as much of my mini as possible. So once you've reached that decision, grab your 3.5mm hook. Let me zoom you in. Grab your 3.5mm hook, as I said, and we are right side facing if you've left your yarn attached, and if you haven't, please attach your yarn to what laying down. This is my left side, and chain 3. So I'm going to do that. This chain 3 will count as the first stitch or the first double crochet, because we're going to be working in double crochets now. And then we're going to proceed to turn our work 90 degrees, okay? And then work double crochets down this way until we have 51 stitches. So this counts as our first stitch. So we're essentially going to be making 2 double crochets into each row. Okay, so just grabbing my yarn and yarn over, and there we go. First double crochet. So you can work them around the stitches as I just did, or you can work them into the stitches. So kind of just pick up like that. Okay. So whatever you find easier to work. So again, you can just go around the stitch, or you can actually go into the stitches. As I said, we're working approximately 2 and as long as you have 51 stitches and you are working down this road, it's fine. We just want to spread these stitches as evenly as possible so that we don't have any ugly gaps. So to help you decide if you want to continue in the same color or just change, this would be your center panel, right? And we've got about 38 inches to create the little crescent shape. This is 38 inches without blocking, okay? So you would have those in the main colors. So what I'm thinking is 5 grams will probably take me to here, which would make a nice 9, maybe 10 inches of that contrasting color and then the main color. All up to you. I've done 50 stitches, counting that chain 3. And now I just thought I would show you where I'm doing my last stitch, which is at the base of this foundation stitch. I just think that just makes it all look more even, right? So we've got our 51 stitches. And now what we're gonna do to make sure that we have a crescent shape, let me face this way, is that we're gonna put a stitch marker right at the bottom here. Okay. We are putting a stitch marker to remind us that this is the bottom, because stitch marker at the bottom will remind us that this is the side we decrease in, okay? So I'm just consulting this vague reference here. And we are going to be decreasing in one row and not decreasing in the other. So spotting our decrease will be a lot easier because we're only going to be doing it at the bottom here. So we are going to chain 3. This is 1, 2, 3, and this will now be referred to as row 2 of the body. So since our chain 3 counts as a double crochet, we're not going to be working on the base of this stitch. What we're going to be doing is working in the next 2 double crochets, because our first stitch is a decrease, okay? So we've got a double crochet, and the way I like to do decreases is by picking up the front loop of the next stitch and then picking up the back loop of the following stitch. And then we are going to yarn over and we are going to pull through, and we've got 3 loops on our hook. With these 3 loops, we're just going to complete the double crochet as normal, and we've just completed our one and only decrease for this row. Remember, this is now row 2 of the body. Okay. And now we are simply going to work a double crochet into each stitch. So we're going to work a double crochet up until this stitch right here, and I will meet you then to continue with row 3. So we're at the top of the shawl. We're going to chain 3 and turn to start. I don't like that chain, sorry. We're going to chain 3 and turn to start row 3. So row 3 is going to have no decreases. We are simply going to work 1 double crochet stitch in each stitch all the way down to here. Okay, then once we've completed this no decrease row, we're going to repeat row 2, which is a decrease row. Okay, but we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. I'm simply going to complete all my double crochets and meet you back here. Once we've completed row 3, we are simply going to chain 3 and turn. And now it's time to repeat row 2, which is our decrease row. So in the next stitch, pick up the front loop, and in the following stitch, pick up the back loop and complete your invisible decrease. And then just continue working a double crochet into each stitch. Continue working along the body of our shawl. We are just going to repeat rows 2 and 3 until we have 3 stitches left. Once we have those 3 stitches left, we are going to double crochet 3 together, fasten off, and cut our yarn. And thus we end part 2 of the Trust Cal. I will meet you back here in probably a week or 2 to continue with part 3 of the Trust Cal, where I will show you my finished side and then walk you through the steps to complete the next side of the shawl. Have fun! Also, please let me know how you're doing for a time in the comments below. I myself have not actually finished part 2 yet, so I'm thinking this might take me longer than the 6th of February, but let me know in the comments below.